Country roads forever, may their spirit always last. Take me back to country roads where time moves slow, where the heart and soul find peace and love can grow.
I messed up. I got arrested and they told me I went to court on it. They was going to sentence me to 2 years in prison. And the judge, the DA popped up and said, said he's not really no violent offender. Said he's got trouble with alcohol and he got trouble with drugs, but he's not really not mean to society, you know. So we recommend him go to rehab. And judge like, well, all right. So he goes, well, I will sentence you to 6 months rehab, take the 2 years probation, 2 years of prison to side, 6 months rehab, and it'll squish 2 years of prison. And so I done 6 months of rehab, and in the process of me doing that, before you get to graduate, you have to go around looking for your places to live. And so I went around to all these apartment complexes, put in applications, and them telling me, you're a felon, so you can't have no apartment. And then one of the guys from church, Mr. Higgins, he says, one of the pastors said, Mr. Higgins, he's got some houses that he possibly could get you rent one. And so I met him out as he was walking out of the church. I met him and talked to him. He's like, well, he said, yeah. He told me where the house was and everything, and told me I was welcome to go look at it. So I went and looked at just the outside of it. And they told me one day, they said, well, I'll come over and get you when you're off of work, and I'll take you and let you see the inside of it. So he did. He come brought me over and let me look inside of it. And my head was almost covered the ceiling, and I'm like, he's like, you think you can live? I said, man, I want it. That's it, I want it. And so I went and talked to Community Action, and she's like, well, I done all the paperwork for her and everything. And she's like, well, have you picked your house out? I'm like, yep, sure have. And so they checked with them and had them come in and had the inspector come check it out. Said, well, all right. So they wrote them a check for $1,300. It was a little over $1,300. That was $650 for deposit, $650 for rent. And I was like, I can handle that, And I was doing good. I was working and everything. I was working good at the nurse home and all. I think where I messed up when I went from stopped working at the nurse home to went to doing that landscaping. I think that's where I messed up right there, because the simple fact was the man wasn't on the up the up. He let me work maybe a month or 2 months, and then sold the business to his son-in-law. And then that was out of job. So I had my ex-boss at the nurse home was mad at me for me quitting him. So I was like, well, and then I started just going downhill further than that. I started letting riffraff come in and out of my house, and I started drinking a lot more, and started smoking weed a lot more, to where I just gave up. And he come to me, he's like, well, you got to have my rent money. And so I asked one of my friends, I'm like, well, can you help me out? So he said, yeah, I'll help you out. So he brought me $650 over to me. And I called the man up and I told him, I was like, I got your rent money right here. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm going to do a Section 8 on it so they get you out of there anyway. So it don't make no difference. It don't matter, because you're not going to be there. And so I was gone somewhere. When I come back, all my stuff, they had busted my lock and then put all my stuff out on the street. And I'll tell you what, I went over to a friend of mine's on High Street, and as I left from there and walked across to the backyard, and people was going through my stuff like it was a yard sale. And I walked up and I sat down on the porch. I popped the beer open. I sat on the porch and I was nothing like that. And they stopped what they was doing. They looked. I said, "That's my shit y'all going through, you know. This ain't no yard sale going on here." And the woman, she threw my backpack down on the ground. She run, jumped up in the driver's seat and spun out. And I was like, shit. I tried to salvage what I could, but here come bad weather and everything, and a lot of my stuff was damaged and burned anyway.
They didn't give a fuck. And
No.
the same friends.
Yeah.
Was the ones that was probably looting and shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, and I turned around and I got tired of walking the streets. So I called my friend up and I told him, I'm like, man, you come up here and get me. So I went back down to Bear Creek, down there where he lives. Stayed down there for, I guess, about 5-6 months. And they got to where drugs was just, I mean, everywhere. I got tired of being around all that. But I was stuck, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went over to another friend's house and was hanging out there where the drugs had to be there too. I'm like, shit. Well, about that time, that Deb, she called me up. Me and her was talking, and she's like, if I come down and get you, you know, you come back up here to Florence with me, help me take care of my stepdad. So he's got dementia real bad, and he's had a few bad episodes already. I'm like, yeah. So she come down and got me, and I stayed there at her stepdad's, helping him get back on his feet for about like 9 months. And she had her house in Humboldt, so she's like, we finally got him back on his feet good to where he was able to cook for himself, drive himself where he needed to go and stuff like that. And so then it's like, well, we're going to go back to Humboldt. So she took me back to Humboldt with her. I tried to get a job up there, and oh Lord, man, I put in a place for the cheese factory. I tried there. I tried Tyson's Food, and I couldn't get no results for nothing. And so she's like, well, I'm tired of me supporting you. And I'm like, I'm not asking you to support me. I'm trying to find work, you know.
Exactly.
And it's not happening for some reason.
People don't know, though, they have windows of time when they're actually hiring. So you got to actually look at when those windows are open,
Right,
to be able to get on at those places like Tyson's and even with like FedEx. But see, the thing is, this is the time because holiday season is coming around the corner.
yeah,
Everybody's going to be looking to hire, even though, like, I guess they've been doing a lot of layoffs around the country, but still people, they're going to be, at least for season, looking to hire a lot of people.
right.
So it's just with those type of things, you have to wait for them to have an opening. And then once they get an opening, you hound their ass, call them. Yeah, hey, I put in an application. Has anyone looked at it? And they'll always be like, you know, giving you the runaround because they do work hard. They got a lot of stuff to do. But when you're calling them and letting them know your name and you're interested, you're going to be the first one they look at when they need to, you know, hire somebody. So, yeah.
So they found this place up here, and they come got me. The guy helped me gather my stuff, what little bit of stuff I had there, and we dropped by her stepdad's. I gathered up some of my clothes, not all of them, but a little bit of them. And hell, I hadn't even been out in the heat since I've been in the hospital, you know. And it was like having to restart a battery. I mean, I was real weak. I couldn't hardly do nothing. And so he brought me up here and gave me a bed, and went through all my stuff, checked my stuff, make sure I didn't have no pot or no weed pens or nothing like that. Come find out I didn't have none of that stuff. So they're like, well, here's your room. And got to meet the guys, you know. It seemed all right. Yeah, but you could every now and then you could feel tension.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bunch of dudes who strangers to each other.
Yeah, right.
Of course, there's gonna be some tension.
And you know, a lot of them, like this one guy, he ain't even been here 6 weeks yet, and he's already got a visit. His folks come up, and he got to go visit his kids today and get to stay gone. And they usually don't let you do it. You have to be here 6 weeks before you ever do that.
Mm-hmm.
But unless, like I talked to Mr. Terry about you coming and everything, and it's like as long as you let the house mom, which just it don't really matter if you let him know anything or not, because he's not really, he's not on the up. He's a snake in the grass where he is.
Yeah.
He's not really trustworthy. If he tries to get anything on you, he will try to use it against you. And so I keep my eye on him. I'll keep my distance from him. So I don't want him to if he bothers me. Like one night I made me a we get to go to the food pantry and give us a box of food, and they would go over and get clothes. I got this shirt, these shorts, and they like there was a thing in the bottom of the freezer. Well, I made it. I cooked it. Well, he was gone to pick up one of the guys that worked late shift. He come back and I was like, yeah, I tried this rice and blah, blah, blah stuff here. It really didn't taste all that good to me. He said, where'd you get that at? I said, bottom of the freezer. Oh, that's mine. You owe me $5. I said, I don't owe you shit. He said, oh, yeah, you owe me $5. I said, that come from the food pantry. You didn't pay for that. Oh, I bought that wash. You didn't either. And I told, so I walked outside. I had me some cigarettes in and walked out there and smoked a cigarette. I come back in. I said, I'm going to tell you something. I said, you can take the rest of that that's in the bottom of the freezer. You can take all them containers and you can shove all of them up your ass. Sideways, and I don't care. And I went to my room. He didn't have to come to the room. He didn't have to do that. He wouldn't carry his ass right up to his room upstairs. And then I wasn't no more said to him the rest of the night. So I'm like, well, I've been talking to Deb, but she's not, I don't think me and her are going to get back together. It don't really matter.
She'll probably try to come when she starts seeing the progress. But the question is she right for you to actually go back to?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because being around all the chaos, it seems like she was involved. So
yeah, right.
Be going back to the chaos.
Yeah. Well, she got her son. Her son moved to Kentucky. Him and his child and his girlfriend and their other friend, they all moved to Kentucky somewhere, and that was all right. I mean, that gave her the house. She had her house back, but she's by her still feeling of the betrayal that the co-workers did the first time. They called her up and texted her and messaged her and everything that, oh, well, I had slept with so-and-so and I'd done this and that. And so that's how she broke up with him the first time. And I'd be damned if they didn't do the same damn thing again. So she broke up with me again. But she's still in the back of her mind. She wouldn't let it go the first time.
Exactly. So the second, third, it
yeah,
ain't gonna
right.
matter no matter if you did it or not. So
right. Yeah. So I told her I'm doing good. And I got my ear chip. She said, oh, I'm proud of you. And said she would have been real bad sick. Her and her grandson and all three got some kind of stomach virus going on. They've had it pretty rough.
Dang, is that what that is? Some people I know talking about they've been out.
Yeah, been in the lower stomach.
Wow.
Right, yeah, been right at the lower part of the stomach, been hurting real bad.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. But I'm like, it is what it is. If he just give me a chance to get a job, I think he will. I think that guy Kenneth, he exaggerates a lot more than what it really boils down to being. Which I mean, I know it's a business,
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't take a gun and put a gun to people's heads and say, here, you go hire me or else.
Exactly.
So I'll just try tomorrow and see what I can do.
Yeah, those temp places, they usually be on it because that's what they're used for. They get paid a little percentage to get you the job.
Yeah. I'm gonna check with her first thing tomorrow.
Do that, and I'm telling you, add FedEx, that warehouse right down the street to that list. And they provide y'all a ride there?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, I love it. Easy money, like you snacks. You people stay to themselves. You got your own little corner if you want to, or you can mingle, and everybody usually cool.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? No discrimination. Fire, man. And matter of fact, like the stuff that you have, it was like a DUI, so that's been expunged for like 2 years, right?
Yeah.
After 2 years, it goes nowhere. So
Yeah.
background check should be clear. All they need is workers. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
When I worked here years ago, they couldn't keep those people because they were always hiring little kids. They'll come
There you go, yeah.
3-4 months and then be out.
First I thought you had not known.
Yeah. Oh man, summertime.
Yeah.
Country roads forever by my side until I die. Barefoot summers laughing